So you want to get going on this social journey, and you absolutely should because it's worth it. But you don't know where to begin. And you might be finding the prospect of just striking up random conversations with strangers to be intimidating. I definitely get it. It's something I recommend, but it's a difficult hurdle to initially get over. So I've got a very easy first step for you to take, and one that you're probably going to find to be more fun and motivating than anxiety provoking, hopefully. Usually making progress on anything, at least for me, is about finding manageable micro goals, excuse me, that will allow me to build momentum before I approach any piece of the task that's overly daunting. So I've got your first step, and it's a simple one. Start becoming interesting. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam. I'm an LMHC in New York. I specialize in men's issues, relationship coaching, and anxiety problems. So, this channel and my practice broadly are centered around utilizing the insights of philosophy and social science to help my clients live healthier, happier, and more productive lives. So think of successful socialization as having three main pillars, three main branches, three main legs of the stool, however you want to conceptualize it. One, find motivation to be interested in others, which is not a given for many introverts who definitionally are more focused inward than outward. I'm quite introverted. I've got a video on that. It's called Social Skills Tip 1, Stance of Curiosity. Check it out. Two, communication skills that will allow you to convey and receive information from another person. Most people are okay at that. It's really the anxiety that gets in their way. And I have a video for that too. Social skills tip 2, mindfulness and socialization. And 3, what we're going to talk about today, which is developing an interesting internal world and the confidence to share it with others. So, this very last piece is what we're going to talk about, but in our hierarchy of social skills, you can actually think of it as the foundational piece. But it does beg the question, right? What does it mean to be interesting? There's an incredibly simple answer to that. Interests are interesting. That's all you need to know. The more interests you have, even in niche things, particularly in niche things, the more interesting you'll be to others. And if you're interested in things to the point of being passionate, then you're absolutely golden because passion is just straight up charismatic. So ask yourself the following question. Aside from work, mindless doom scrolling, but now unremarkable streaming content, what am I into? What are my hobbies? What are my passions? What are my interests? You might have some, and if so, you're way ahead of the game. But, and this is kind of a sad comment on modern culture, you might not have much there. That's okay because you absolutely have the potential, the capacity to develop some, and thereby increase the capacity by which other people will find you interesting. And that's our goal for today. So if you're currently lacking in any active, engaging interests that are fun to share with others, this is likely the problem. Now, I'm going to sound like an old man here yelling at a cloud, but that's okay. That's where I'm at in my life at this point. I'm absolutely a boomer in spirit, and I'm also right. So most modern entertainment isn't very good, and most modern preoccupations aren't very interesting. They will completely hijack your attention without adding much to your existence. So if all you do is scroll TikTok, play uninspired video games, and stream perfectly forgettable shows and movies, that's a problem. It's a problem because none of that stuff sticks in your mind, and none of it is something you can passionately talk about with another person. If you want to build social connection, you need something to talk about. So you need to dig deeper. Now, that does not mean that you should manufacture interests because inauthenticity is really never a good strategy in life, at least in the normative circumstances that most people operate. But you should give yourself the opportunity to authentically deepen your interests. For example, and I'll kind of lay out a template here that you can think of when you're trying to develop your interests. I'm a giant music nerd, and that's an interest that I've had since I was about 10. It's always given me some very fertile conversational ground with a wide range of people. So that's a social boon. And if you've always been someone who sure to some degree likes music, because who doesn't? Everyone can tap their toe along to something, but maybe you don't go beyond whatever the current top 20 songs are. Consider doing a deep dive on a particular artist. That's how you start. For instance, what's your favorite song? Or at least what's the first song that comes to mind when I ask the question? Now go to your preferred music platform and find out who wrote the song. Find out what album that song exists upon. Now go listen to the entire album a few times. On your way to work, while you're exercising, certainly doesn't matter. Now go listen to some of that artist's albums in another album, and now search out who influenced that artist and go listen to their albums, and then go listen to another one of that person's albums, and so on and so forth, and rinse and repeat. And now you have a bona fide interest. Now you're on your way to becoming a music nerd who can talk music with other music nerds. Next step. Do you have any hobbies? A real hobby should be skill based and should almost always involve some kind of kinesthetic or movement element. Think playing an instrument, crafting, any kind of exercise, woodworking, cooking. Settle on one hobby you've either enjoyed in the past or could conceivably enjoy in the future, and take a step towards more active engagement today. Buy the guitar, start the gym membership, look up a recipe and get the ingredients. Now, the mental health benefits of hobbies are multi layered, and I'll definitely make a video in the future outlining four of them. But for now, just think of it this way: you're someone who is pursuing a hobby, and that is interesting. And you can discuss that pursuit with other people. You can bond around it. You can go to a place where people do that shared activity and meet new people. Third example, if you need it: what's an academic interest you have that you might further pursue? Have you ever had an interest in history, philosophy, economics? Pursue it. It's good for your mental health to understand how the world works and why people do the things they do and how they collaborate and cooperate. Makes the whole world less mysterious, less confusing, and that's a mental health boon. There's wonderful content on YouTube for any academic interest you might have. Get a subscription to the great courses. I love it. Start learning about the topic. Buy the book on Amazon. Now, when you sit down with a potential conversation partner, you actually have some thoughts and opinions on some of the most interesting questions that have ever been asked in the humanities or social sciences or physical sciences. Learn about AI or free markets versus centralized markets or evolutionary psychology or game theory. Sky's the limit. There's a lot to learn in the world. It'll enrich your worldview and allow you to bring more to the conversational table. Now, some of these topics can be controversial because everything is now, haven't you noticed? So explore some of these topics gingerly with new people until you get a better sense of who you're dealing with. And the observant among you will notice a trifecta of activities here: one for the arts, one for the body, one for the mind. This is a useful way to think about hobbies and wellness: aesthetics, physicality, and knowledge. These have profound benefits for wellness, and they will give you a richer inner world that you can then share with others. And that's the whole point. Become interesting, develop your interests. Start today. Spend 20 minutes developing just one of these, and you're off and running on your social journey. Build that 20 minutes as a daily habit for a couple of weeks, and then add something from another domain. Proceed humbly and conservatively with any new goals. I've got a couple of videos on this. Build the habit before you make the habit difficult. That's key. Do not overwhelm yourself. All right. All the best, and I will see you in the next one.